to what Sonny Gray means to the St. Louis Cardinals after they already picked up Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. So Sonny signs for 3 years, $75 million. He's coming off one of the best seasons he's ever put together. I mean, he was top 3 for the Cy Young Award this year.
When he's healthy,
fantastic.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and he was great. And he is secondary stuff city, and it works for him, right? And it's what the league has kind of tilted itself towards anyway. They signed him for his age 34, 35, and 36 season. He had a 2.79 ERA this past year, 184 innings, 183 Ks, his best ERA and innings pitched since 2015. And this was a big one for me, lowest home run rate in baseball. I know the playoffs, they got to him, but he gave up 8 home runs this year, league best 0.39 per 9 innings.
I did a game with him this year. It was in Cleveland, I think he pitched, against the Guardians, who didn't hit home runs. The joke was Sonny Gray's going to give up a home run, and he hadn't given up a home run in 90 innings, and then Will Brennan
he gave to an outfield. Oh,
we're like, what are the lowest no home runs with the outfield of the Guardians? And we're like, something's got to give. Sonny Gray, of course, he gives up a home. We're like, dude, this guy, he was unbelievable this year. I mean, no home runs, secondary stuff, curveball, sweeper, slider, changeup, everything, and he would run that high fastball at him. This guy's always had good stuff. Again, he struggled in New York. People always want to look at him and say, oh, New York. But, I mean, Cincinnati, he was good. Oakland, he was really good. Minnesota, he was really good. Everywhere he's been really good, except for that little stint in New York.
Not a big market guy.
No.
I wouldn't.
Which is, if there's a place you want to go.
I was there, so go ahead.
No, but what I'm saying, if there's a place you want to go, like Minnesota, awesome.
Yeah.
St. Louis, are you freaking kidding me? You could give up 12 runs in the first inning. They're like, way to go, Sonny.
They're kind of pissed in St.
Thanks
Louis
for your effort.
Now,
they are, but still, the fans are unbelievable.
They are great.
And what a great name for St. Louis. Because it's either just beautiful weather or it's a rain delay in St. Louis. It's never like Sonny Gray. It's really what's
so. Wait, I want to hear your New York story.
The New York story. So he came over in 2017, and the pitching coach at the time,
was it Rothschild?
Thank you. Was slider heavy. It was like, hey, if you get 2-0, throw this guy a slider. Meetings. It's like, hey, we gotta bust this guy up and in, and slider's always in play. Big Poppy, slider's always in play. Like it's like crazy stuff. Not in 17, he wasn't there. I was just thinking of players that we played against. And Sonny comes in, and he was with Oakland. So he was literally a guy that would sit there and go, all right, sinker. He's like, I feel like a cutter here in mid-pitch. So the catchers are back there like, chasing balls everywhere. John Jaso hated his life. Stephen Vogt would talk about it all the time. He's like, dude, he's so athletic, but he's like kind of scatterbrained. And took that completely away from him. He'd give up a hit on, making like a field pitch. Like, I think a cutter's best pitch here. If it wasn't a slider, Larry was all over him. And that affected him more than the media affected him. They made him throw more. He's like, I don't throw that many curveballs and sliders. He's like, I'm a sinker cutter guy. He's like, if I need it, I'll throw 100 curveballs. But he said, if you tell me I have to do it, like he was just spilling his guts to me in the bullpen. I'll never forget it. In the playoffs, we were playing Cleveland. He's in the bullpen sitting next to me, and he's like, man, this is really tough, bro. He goes, I just want to pitch the way I can pitch, and he's not letting me. So I wouldn't say it was the big media. But he's safe from the media in St. Louis anyway.
Yeah, but the media still plays into it. I don't care.
I thought the pitching coach doesn't call the pitches.
No, but they tell you, the catcher, what to throw.
And at the time, it was Gary.
And also, here's the thing. Like, you can say the pitching coach doesn't call pitches, because I had pitching coaches that would come up to you and be like, why did you throw that pitch? And you're like, you want to call the pitches?
That
fastball, curveball, slider. Let's go next inning. I don't want that on me. Then shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right?
That's –
Well, like, I don't tell you have Toby Hall. I told you guys this. Toby Hall had the greatest line ever to Lou Piniella. He came in, he was with the Rays. Lou Piniella was like, Toby, why'd you call that pitch? He goes, listen, Lou, this isn't fucking PlayStation. I can't hit the X button. He throws a slider in the dirt. The guy hung it. He hit a home run. What do you want me to do, Lou? You want to call the pitches? Lou's like, God damn it, Toby, and his voice. But like, it's right. Like, you can call. Listen, the scouting report thing is great, but if the guy can't execute, it doesn't matter. But the thing, what he's saying is, the Yankees made him uncomfortable going into the game, and he didn't feel like he was pitching the way that he has his whole life. You hear this from guys a lot now. Guys are like, oh, I was a sinker guy And now they're trying to make me a high four-seam guy. And he's like, that's not me. And they go back to doing their other thing. They're pretty good again.
Or it goes really well, Garrett Cole to the Astros.
Exactly.
And they're like, well, so there was extra stuff in there. But all that stuff goes into it on both ends of the spectrum. Garrett Cole was a sinker guy. The Pirates were like, hey, you know, we just got to run that sinker in, run it farther in. And when it's 2-0, run it farther in. It's like Astros were like, well, here, get a little glue on your fingers, and we're going to throw that thing top of the zone because you can really spin it. And so that's that like dichotomy of these guys that you pick up. And some people look at it and they go, oh, man, like he's a veteran. He should be able to figure that out. No,
I would
it's
just say,
still the
screw
same.
you. I've been in the league for a minute. I've got the track record.
It doesn't work like that.
It didn't work for this many starts.
It's easy
Now
to
let's
say when
try
you're not
it
a
my
player.
way.
It's easy to say when you're not a player.
Of course.
Dude, it's not that easy.
It's hard.
We were just – Kratz and I were just having a conversation when I was in
Before the
Boston. Okay? And I went over there and it was 2014. This is my 14th year being a starting catcher in the major leagues. I get over there and they're like, we're changing everything. And I'm like, I finally got to a point where I was like, I can't do this. Like, this isn't working.
With your swing or with your catching?
Catching.
With your receiving?
Like, it was unbelievable. Like, they had me doing stuff. I'm like, I've been doing this for a decade and a half now, and you want to change everything? And I'm like, this ain't going to – finally, I ended up getting DFA, but it was like middle of June, and I'm like, listen, guys, like, I need to just do what I have done for my whole career. And they're like, well, I don't think that's work. I'm like, and 3 weeks later I get DFA, which is fine. But, you can say big market, whatever. But if you're not comfortable with, like, as a pitcher, your pitch selection going into a game, it's really hard. If you're not comfortable with what you're doing every day as a player, it's impossible to perform.
Sounds like another former Yankee that then thrived. Jordan Montgomery.
Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a bunch of them.
Because the Yankees are in the spotlight. You're always going to look.
No,
at
of course.
But
I'm just bringing them. I'm picking on them, but I can pick on others too.
It is, but that's the relationship between players and coaches, and you can pick that out so many times. It's not. That's why I choose to believe most of the time when players have a bad year. Oh, he's on the downswing. He's on the wrong side of 30. Okay, Aaron Nola, Kravitz left. He was a Cy Young candidate the year Kravitz was his pitching coach.
Rick
Kranitz.
What I say? Yeah, Rick Kranitz. Sorry,
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz was not there. But great
Joe
musician.
in Vegas probably.
He could be there. He could be here. But he leaves. Aaron Nola went through some times because he didn't have his pitching coach that really connected with him and was there during a good year. Where did Kranitz go?
Atlanta.
For how many years of playoffs with constantly just running new pitchers in and out that are on the Cy Young ballot? Yeah.
Pitching coaches can change and evolve too. So
good and bad.
Right. Good and bad.
Brent Strom, playoffs. It all matters. Pay him more.
So we'll do much more Cardinals later. Let's spend 2 minutes on Kenta Maeda.